Hey everybody, we're live. Welcome to our after show for Big Little Lies, episode 5, titled Kill Me.
Which came out right at the end.
Right at the end.
I think that may have actually been like
the last
line
I
of
think
the
it,
episode. I think so.
Line, I think.
Sure.
No. I think Tori had some lines.
Who's Tori?
The tit flip that's fucking with Adam Scott.
Tits McGee.
Hi.
Tits McGee.
Tits McGee. Kill Me might have been the actual, like...
So, I'm Zach.
I'm Audie.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Kate.
I'm
Mark. We are Nice as the Drunk Watch.
And now our talk
begins.
It's a very quick one. Because we have like a million other things to watch
So let's just go down. Characters are the easiest. So Mary Louise is a total fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Incredibly manipulative.
Mary Louise goes in with the scalpel.
Surgical precision.
Just cut you where it hurts you.
Surgical precision. Go ahead.
But the reason that it's most like so effective is because she does it with that like little old lady style.
She doesn't
like,
have an intimidating persona.
Yeah, she's pretending to be a little senile and saying things that like, oh, I didn't realize this would hurt you. I'm just curious or wondering or question. I just have questions, innocent questions. It's like, bitch, you were asking all of these specifically on purpose.
It's my least favorite type of manipulator.
And you're implying it's like a loaded question. I know what your intent is. Like, I know you don't have to say it.
And that's what it is. She's so transparent about it.
I just can't imagine how difficult it is for you to give up all that stuff with your child to have a career.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a fan. I think I put mine down somewhere.
I think it's more interesting that, like, as we learn about her, we kind of learn what made up Perry. That's why I'm interested in hearing more.
Yes, because she is so manipulative. Like, obviously he was going to be fucked up. We don't know anything about his dad.
And what is she going to do to them kids?
Well, and I'm getting the picture.
Well, what if his dad was a rapist and then he's a rapist?
No, his dad checked out when,
I have a quick question.
The brother died.
Yes,
Audie,
Mark.
Were you intending this to be cut up for the salad, or did you have other uses for this?
I brought it for the salad.
Okay.
So,
this was live.
I think you should drink, Mark.
I think that maybe Mary Louise came to town with this intent to take the kids from the jump. Mm-hmm. I think that was what she came to, because she clearly is codependent on someone else loving her, mother's love, right? Mm-hmm. So if she doesn't have that in her life, she was going to commandeer whatever's around.
Yeah.
She just seems like that toxic kind of...
I honestly think she could have come to town with the initial thing of like trying to support her family.
Okay.
And as soon as, because she's not dumb, clearly she's not dumb. So as soon as she found out something else was going on, she knew she could get her claws in.
Okay.
Well, and also I think, I'm going to sneeze, so I don't know if I can finish this thought.
Okay.
I think she's manipulative enough, but also like she does have a love for her family. And so, without the outside, like, knowledge getting out that some shit's going on, she'd be like, oh, yeah, my son died. I'm going to go take care of my grandchildren. And then as soon as she, like, saw all the shit, she was like, nah.
Yeah, I think she swept into town to be the Mary
Fairy
Mother of Grace and save this little family. And Nicole's like, nah, I could use a little space. And that's, I think, what she said. Oh.
I definitely think she has selfish intentions. I think so.
I think it's about control for her.
Yeah,
I think she wants control over other people's lives.
I could see her coming to town, like, to make his death about herself.
Yes.
Not necessarily coming in to take the kids, but to come in to show how much she loved her son and how much this is affecting her.
Look how sad I am.
She was not, like, present at all last season. I think Perry was like, Ma, you're not go. You live where you're living.
Well,
yeah, we don't know their relationship quite well.
Yeah, Perry.
Like, we know it one-sided from her. We don't know it from him.
Right.
But, yeah, there weren't constant phone calls to Mom and checking with Mom.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't exist before.
Maybe she was distant. Maybe not estranged, but just maybe he kept her at a distance. We don't know where she's from. Did she ever say where she's from?
How far she's traveled.
Right. Is she, like, from Tennessee or Washington or like...
No, I'm sure she's California.
I think she's in California. Yeah. Okay, so now we can do Bonnie.
Yeah.
WTF
I
with
just don't
Bonnie?
care about her plotline right now.
I mean,
I don't either.
But we did find out new information this week that she was abused. Like, we get
Yeah.
a little bit more depth to her and her mother
GGF.
because we did see some, like, animosity and some controlling behavior from her mother. Being
Right.
like, you know...
Through
I'm here to-
flashbacks.
Yeah. No, like... through
Oh,
him. Yeah.
okay, yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks ago, because I didn't watch last week. 2 weeks ago when she showed up, she was like, I need, you know, your husband called you and I need to fix you. And when Bonnie was like, no, I don't need that, she voodooed shit. Like, so... we saw some controlling behavior current day, and then we get a little more backstory of to why Bonnie was so dismissive
I just
of that
don't
relationship.
want another fucking scene between Bonnie and her dad being awkward together. Like, I'm just done.
Well, and
one of those scenes would have been enough.
I feel like they could have wrapped up Bonnie and her mom a lot. Mom could have had a stroke at the dinner table, and it would have been the same exact
Yeah.
result, I think, in my opinion.
Unless Bonnie kills her.
No, she doesn't kill. She's in the preview.
No, I'm saying, I mean, she's in the future.
Right.
I mean, she's already technically killed someone.
Okay, we can now talk about Madeline and her fucked up relationship.
Yeah.
She's the worst. She is my
She's
fear of
not-
like.
Yeah.
She's
not
my
great.
fear of like being in a relationship. Like I'm 100 because Kate knows me. I'm 100% in the relationship,
Ugh.
and then someone's out there watering the garden. If you know what I mean.
What?
And so, that's my. And then like be so blasé about it. Like, oh, we're gonna sing a song and go to a hippie camp and like.
She doesn't seem
She
to
just-
and I think that that's kind of like supported by everything that Adam Scott or whatever his name is in the show said in
Ed.
the car.
Ed.
Yeah.
Like
Steady
in the
Eddie.
car, he was talking about how you picked me for a really pragmatic reason, and that shows now. Because if you loved me, you would care about how much you hurt me. But all you care about is getting back to the status quo, getting
Being
back
good,
to
yeah.
just making sure that all the pieces are in the right spot. It has nothing to do with caring about him being hurt.
And I don't know that I would 100% agree with that. I think what we finally got to the core of in the car is him finally saying, my problem is you basically chose me because I was safe. I accepted that. Then you went and did something unsafe that broke our
That
marriage.
meant-
Yeah,
Yeah.
you made you set down the rules for this relationship, and I accepted those rules, and then you broke those. Like, the rules were not that this was a passionate, lust-filled relationship. But I also think that we get from her is that, like, whatever her and Nathan were was not good, and she's had a lot of, like, relationships that have started because they were passionate and lustful, but nothing was actually there.
They burn fast.
She wanted something different.
Yes.
However, she made the mistake again of falling into lust, and she's going to her best, you know, not make that
It's a
mistake
lot
again.
of
But what I was leading up to is that she's been struggling with Ed up until now because she is ready to fix it, and he's not. And what she needed to do was stop being Madeline and stop, because Madeline's a fixer. So
Yeah.
Madeline can't just sit back and wait for Ed to be ready. She's a fixer, and so she's been. What's been so struggling. The struggle with their relationship is wasn't ready to fix anything. He needed to sort out his stuff, and she's like, "It's me. I made a mistake. I know what's wrong. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. Let's
Yeah.
fix." And of course,
She's so volatile that she can't just let things stand. She can't let things be.
But I
out
feel
of
like
her
she's
control.
more about fixing it to get back to normal. Like that's her goal. Like, can we just get back to the way we were
I think my problem
without
is
actually
that
doing anything?
her plot line seems so insignificant compared to everything else that's going on. Like, there's so many much bigger things, and it's just like, what is the ending to this storyline? Great, they're gonna stay together, or great, they're not. Who gives a shit? Like, why is this happening?
I feel like the alternative
Story-wise.
is that we have these main characters, and if we had like a whole episode and we didn't see Madeline at all, we'd be like, where the fuck is Madeline?
I don't mean that, and I think this is the fundamental difference between what was working in season 1 and what isn't working in season 2, is because in season 1, these incredible characters were pitted against each other, and that created the conflict, and all their personal problems just fueled their inner conflict. But now that they're a united front, we're focusing on these external problems that were just supposed to be little bits on the side, and it's not enough meat, I think, to keep the story
feel like
going.
I agree with what Audie said.
what I feel like what they're trying to do, maybe not doing the best job, is show you how fragile this whole thing is. Like, I think they're trying to show us that something is gonna give, someone's gonna break at some point. Like, they all have so much each woman has so much outside stress that at some point the detective is going, and that's the thing, there's not a detective like, I gotcha, like there's not enough gotcha moments.
Well, and that's the problem, is we don't have this intense pressure on them constantly.
Right.
They're not being followed every
We
second.
only
They're
see it
not
through Bonnie,
being.
and hers
But-
is half paranoia.
Now we know that
Except this leads us up to Shailene Woodley.
Jane and her
Jane.
and what's his face?
Jane's boyfriend,
Corey.
Corey.
Has she
maybe-
told him she was raped yet?
Yes.
Has she? Or
Yes.
She just said, I want to go
No,
slow?
she told him the whole story.
She told him about Perry too?
Yes.
I don't think
Specifically?
she told him who it was.
I think she did.
Was that last week? 'Cause
I
It
think
was
that was-
not last week, because I didn't
I think
see
it was
that.
the second episode. I'll go back and look, but I'm pretty sure.
But if she told him that long ago, then why hasn't anything been done as of now?
What do you
Because they
mean?
don't have any hard
If he's an
evidence
undercover
yet.
police officer,
You don't know what he has
What
done.
would be done?
launch an official investigation.
No, but
You can't
he's-
do
But
that.
that would
needs to get
blow
hard
his
evidence.
cover.
Yeah.
What is his cover for, except to find out what
the murder
happened?
of Perry.
But if he hasn't
And so
gotten
if
the
you're
right
just like,
information-
oh,
He
I'm a
doesn't want
cop.
to hear Perry raped me. He wants to hear
I
pushed
killed-
him
yeah.
downstairs,
Yeah.
or
I had to murder
Madeline
him.
pushed him down the stairs.
I'm gonna be
or
100% honest. This is a lot more police work that goes on than would into somebody that just got pushed randomly down the stairs in real life.
And I think
They would just be like, man, whatever.
that's the other frustrating
How much
thing
more
about
crime do they have in
this
Modern.
season is that, like, I know they needed a second season, but we had
Did
a lot
they?
of motivation to support these women in the first season, where this season it all comes down to if they had just told the truth that he was beating up on somebody and
Right.
she shoved him, not thinking that she would shove him down the stairs and kill him. She did that in other defense.
There's no reason
defense
for
of
them to
others.
lie, and I think that that's the problem.
But I think now
The importance isn't elevated
I can
enough
see
in
like
any
the
of these
exit.
things.
One of the exit strategies for Bonnie is if I go in and confess that I pushed him, defending Celeste. That way, Celeste doesn't have to.
Yeah, except
commit-
then everybody's accessory to murder.
Yeah.
And everyone's
now-
fucked.
Yeah, they've hidden the fact.
But it would at least save them from being accused of murder,
But they'd all
But
go
they're
to
not
jail.
being accused of murder right now. They're being accused of not being good mothers.
and it would save them from
And then they're
perjury.
trying to get them on perjury.
It would save them from
I'm
perjury.
sorry, you lied to the fucking cops. Did you not think you're gonna have to commit goddamn perjury?
No,
like,
they
who
ne-
does it?
they-
One of these people is a lawyer.
They never thought it would go to. Like they probably never
So
thought it would go to
ridiculous.
trial. Like it was an accident, and they can't.
I feel like this.
Because the thing is, they haven't been indicted because there's not enough evidence that shows this was a murder.
Right, so why are they even still investigating? That's what I'm saying. There is.
Because the detective thinks something's up because their story matches up to. It was like 100% match.
They're not. It's not like they have a full blown investigation.
They got a guy
lead-
undercover.
The
We don't
lead
know yet,
investigator
allegedly.
knows something's up, and she wants to get to the
Right.
source of it.
Yeah.
It's not like there's just like it's not like there's a
Team.
And
what do
the-
they call those?
Task force.
And the mom.
Oh, we
showed
got
up.
two people
Task
so
force,
far.
team.
We got the detective and
But
possibly undercover
we don't
Corey.
know who. We don't know. We don't know yet. And the mom has showed up saying something's up. I'm suspicious. I have doubts.
Probably Mary Louise is the one
I
fueling
think
all of
that surprisingly, even though they managed to add Meryl Streep to this season, I think this season is more or less lowering the value of the first one.
Yeah. But also this episode has been better. Like the last
Right.
few minutes of this episode was better than.
But it took us 5 episodes to get
Yeah.
there.
I think Ryan Murphy may have written this season.
God.
No, it's not, because then it would have been really good in the
Opposite Ryan
beginning,
Murphy.
then shitty at the
Anti-Ryan
end.
Still Mother's Love.
Still Mother's Love. All
All right, let's go. We can.
The
Oh, go
5
ahead.
We're
episodes
done
may
here.
be long, but I think they're having to establish their own storyline.
That's
I
true.
just-
That's
So
true.
they're ramping
I
up. So
don't-
if the next episode's even better, then we can keep hope
I don't
alive.
love this season. I'm sorry.
I'll wait to the end to make my decision. All right, let's go
You're gonna
home.
Judge the whole fucking thing.
All right,
Okay.
so we are the Knights of Drunk Watch.
And
now
our
our
talk
talk
is
is
ended.
ended.
Mm.
Okay, I need a little breaky break.
When are we supposed to be going again?